Hi, this is Vitoria, and this is a natural selection project by Vitoria Maureen, grade 8. Purpose. The purpose of this project is to explain how adaptations help organisms survive in different environments. In other words, is to explain how the adaptations of an animal help it survive in a different environment that it's not used to most of the times. Introduction. Natural selection is the process of which population of living organisms adapt to different specific environment. So how Charles Darwin liked it to call the survival of the fittest, which is, for example, you put another animal into a different environment and you see how it adapts and how it survives in an environment that's not used to. So natural selection is used for driving evaluation, and it helps to explain the diversity on Earth.
Now that you know what natural selection is, let me talk about it in further detail. Charles Darwin, a famous British biologist, came up with this theory. As he traveled around the world, he noticed that creatures that were found on islands he visited were similar to the ones he found on the mainland. This led him to the conclusion that species specially modify to their environment, and that's why they differ. There are 4 conditions on why this happens. First of all, individuals within a population that differ. This means they show variation. The second condition is the difference are, at least in parts, passed from parents to offspring. The third condition is some individuals are more successful at surviving and reproducing than others. This makes them fitter. Last, the successful individuals succeed because of variant traits that they have inherited and will pass on to their offsprings. On the image, you can see how natural selection occurs. In this example, you have a giraffe with a long neck and with a shorter neck. It shows how, first of all, there's competition, and eventually the one that is able to survive better reproduces more and becomes the fittest. This is the species we designed. Its scientific name is Ichthys genus Dianthus, meaning pink fish, but we like to call it the Pink Coral Reef Fish. It is named after its colors and its habitat, the coral reefs. It is about 5 centimeters long with fins on his left and right side, a fin at the top and the bottom, and a tail.
So Island 1. Before explaining how Island 1 is, we chose Island 1 because we wanted to create a fish species. So the Island 1 seemed the most proper, and he had the best resources for us to create a species of fish. So the Island 1 is fairly flat. It has a few hues. It has a lot of coral reefs, no algae growth on the beach. It has fresh water available. The ground is soft dirt. It has small bushes in the center, and it has no animal life on Earth, but the water is full of fish. So this island seemed the most proper and the best one for our fish species because there's a lot of fish, and that's what we want.
Now we will share our CER for Island 1. CER is a scientific method which is used to demonstrate the validity of your hypothesis. It stands for claim, evidence, and reasoning. Our claim is that the pink coral reef fish is the organism that has adapted the best in its environment, making it the fittest. The evidence is that they can camouflage with the coral reefs and they travel in schools, meaning in groups of fish. Also, they are herbivores and feed off plants and algae found in the reef. Last, the pink coral reef fish are small. The reason why they are the fittest in the environment is because of their physical characteristics. They can easily camouflage in the reefs, like seen on the image on the screen. Because of the way they travel, they are able to protect themselves from predators like reef sharks. Thanks to their diet, they can survive easily because they don't have to leave the coral reef in order to find food and don't risk themselves of being eaten. Last, their body structure and size allows them to pass through the different corals. It also allows the fish to swim quickly away from predators.
Change in environment. So another part of this project was for us to get our island and then change something about it and then see how the fish would react. So since like I said before, our Island 1 had a lot of coral reefs and a lot of fish. So what we did to change the environment was the coral reef died. There were dead coral reefs. What would have happened? So what would happen to the fish is it would have no food, not a hiding place because our fish is pink, so it would easily camouflage on the corals. So if the coral reefs died, it would have no food, no hiding place. It would be easily found, and it would be completely unable to camouflage, which will leave to the fish less chances of survival.
We also had to see how our species would survive on a second island. This second island has a rocky shoreline, many tide pools that dot the island along the beach. Wave action is somewhat sheltered by rock outcrops. Tide pools contain barnacles, oysters, sea urchins, and crabs. Algae grows all around the island. However, it is quite thin in the tide pools where the animals feed. The current is quite strong and along the rocky outcrops where the algae grows best. Fresh water is also available. Based on the environment of island number 2, we believe the pink coral reef fish is less likely to survive here than other species that might be living in this area. Our evidence is that the fish has two bright colors and it's small. On the image above, you can see a pink coral reef fish, which is about 5 centimeters, compared to a black tip reef shark, which has the size of about 190 centimeters. This image lets you see the contrast between the fish and its predator. The fish is also a herbivore, and there are only a thin layer of algae on the tide pools. The reason why this evidence is relevant is that the characteristics of this fish makes it more visible to predators. In addition, its size makes it too slow so it can easily be hunted. Last, there would be a lot of competition for food. If there wouldn't be enough food for the pink coral reef fish, they would have to go deeper in the ocean where there can be even more predators. To conclude, our pink coral reef fish would most likely survive better in island number 1, mainly because it would be able to hide better from predators. On the two images above, you can see that on island number 1 on the right, the fish is harder to spot than on island number 2 on the left, where the fish is more visible. In this project, we learned that based on animals' traits, they can survive better in some environments than others. We learned about Charles Darwin and his theory of evolution. Last, we learned about survival of the fittest, which refers to organisms that are the best adapted to its environment according to Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new.
So this is our works cited page. Thank you very much.